Ragazzi, clamoroso. Ho usato uno strumento che c'è già da un po' di Google che si chiama Notebook LM. Gli ho dato in pasto alcuni link e gli ho fatto creare un podcast audio. Adesso poi ve lo metto qua così ve lo ascoltate. Notate quanto le voci siano reali, addirittura le pause che fanno, la respirazione. È mostruoso. Apprende direttamente da documenti piuttosto che da link che gli date e vi genera questo file. Ascoltatevelo e fate un po' di considerazioni. Ciao, ascoltate qui, eh.
Okay. So, you know how sometimes you see like a headline,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, all right, yeah, sure, that's a thing, but you don't really know what it means for you, like how it affects you.
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of where I am with this whole Google AI overview thing that's apparently like live in Italy now.
Right.
So, we're going to go past those headlines and like really get into the nitty-gritty, like what did this actually change for how you look for information?
Absolutely. So we've got two pretty interesting things to kind of pull apart here today.
Okay.
First, we've got that official announcement straight from Google Italy, that their blog post all about it.
Right.
And then we've got that report from Tiscali Nozzi giving us a slightly more journalistic perspective.
Yeah.
Our mission here is simple. We're going to get under the hood of this AI overview, see how it's landed in Italy, and really try to figure out what it means for your everyday online searches, you know.
So AI overview, that's the big thing, but like what is it? Like if you had to explain it to like your grandma, what would you say?
Well, Google Italy, they kind of present it as this new thing added to Google search specifically to help with those tougher questions,
Yeah.
They're really pushing this idea that it's not just about getting an answer, but it's also about finding those websites where that information actually is.
Right. So it's not trying to like trap you on Google. It's actually trying to help you get to those
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Those
God,
sources,
James.
where it comes from originally.
Tiscali Nodisi uses kind of different words. They call it a way to get elaborate answers from AI, almost like you're having a conversation with it.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot more interactive.
I think you're totally right. That whole chatbot style thing that Tiscali talks about really makes it seem like they're going for a more one-on-one feel when you're getting those first answers.
Right.
But the main thing, and this is super important for you listening, is that both of them, both Google Italy and Tiscali, say that these little AI snippets, they come with links that you can actually see.
Right.
So the AI gives you a summary, but you can immediately see where it got that info and just click right through to the source if you want to go deeper.
Right. So it's like you get the Spark Notes version.
Exactly.
But you can go find the full book if you want.
Yeah.
Now, this whole thing, this is specifically about Italy and broader Europe.
Right.
Where exactly is this showing up according to what we're seeing?
Okay, so Google Italy's blog post is really clear on this. Italy is definitely one of those first European countries where they're rolling out AI overview. They also mention Austria, Belgium, Germany, Ireland, Poland, Portugal, Spain, and Switzerland as part of this first wave. Yeah.
Oh, and there's that little thing I noticed, an asterisk next to Belgium.
Oh, good catch, yeah.
What's up with that?
So they've got this little footnote that says solo in English in questa prima phase, which basically means only in English in this first phase. So it seems like even though people in Belgium will see AI overview,
Yeah.
at first it might only work if you're searching in English.
Oh, interesting.
Something to remember if you're searching in French or Dutch in Belgium.
Right. So
Yeah.
a phased rollout, even within the rollout.
Exactly.
Now, what about Tiscali Notisi?
Right.
Do they add anything else about this European launch?
Yeah, they confirm that it's launched in Italy, and they mentioned that AI Overview was actually first shown way back in May 2024.
Wow.
And they also say that it's now live in a bunch of European countries. And this is really key for our Italian listeners.
Yeah.
It works in a bunch of languages, including Italian. So this really backs up what Google said and confirms that Italian language support is there right from the start in Italy.
Awesome. So it's live. It speaks Italian, at least in Italy. Now, Google's putting a good spin on this, obviously. What are they saying are the big wins for people who use it?
Yeah.
What should make you, the person actually doing the searching, think, okay, this is good?
So Google Italy is suggesting a couple of big advantages. First off, they think people will actually start using Google search even more because of this new feature. Yeah, their logic is that if you can get better, more complete answers faster, you're just going to go to Google more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And secondly, they think people will be happier with the search results. Like those little AI summaries are going to be more useful right away.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can ask a super specific question and get like a quick answer,
Yeah,
that could save you tons of time clicking through like page after page of results.
totally.
What else do they point to as like a benefit?
They also say it should make it easier to ask those more complex questions. You know, the ones with lots of nuances.
Yeah.
Instead of having to like break down your search into a bunch of smaller ones and try to piece it together yourself,
Right.
the AI is supposed to do some of that work for you right up front. And
Yeah.
again, they're careful to say that it should still be easy to find those relevant websites if you want to explore more.
So it's almost like having like a super efficient research assistant.
Yeah.
Just built right into Google.
Right there in the search bar.
Now, they also talk about how this might affect websites and people making content. What do they think will happen for news sites and businesses and all that?
They're basically saying this creates new possibilities for those websites to connect with the person using Google.
Right.
The idea is that because the AI gives a good summary and then clear links to the original places it came from AI, Overview might actually send more of the right kind of traffic to those websites.
Yeah.
People who are actually interested in the topic and are more likely to click through and read more.
Right. So you get a faster answer, and if you want to know more, the websites are right there.
Exactly.
And they might even get people who are more likely to actually read their stuff.
Yeah, they're more engaged.
Let's get into like the nuts and bolts of this.
Okay.
How does this actually work for like someone using it in Italy? Are there any like specific rules or things that make it show up?
Yeah, the Google Italy blog mentions a couple of things you need to be able to use it in Italy. First, you got to be a greater age, which we can probably assume means like an adult. And second, you have to be signed into your Google account when you're using Google search for it to show up.
Oh, okay. So it's not just like there for everyone all the time.
Right, it's tied to your account.
So what kind of searches actually make this AI overview thing appear?
Both Google Italy and Tiscali Notizi say that it shows up when you search in a language it supports, and in Italy that definitely includes Italian. Google Italy's blog is really specific about saying that those AI answers will always have those well-visible links to the websites.
And Tiscali Notizi kind of walks us through what you'd actually see on your screen, right?
Exactly. They say you ask your question like you normally would, and then you get these like articulate AI answers in that chatbot style we were talking about.
Right.
But here's the important part. That AI answer is above the regular list of links that you're used to seeing.
So it's like two levels.
Exactly.
The AI at the top.
Yep.
And then the regular list of links underneath.
That's a really good way to put it.
So you ask a complicated question. You get a quick answer from the AI at the top.
Yeah.
And then all the regular links are still there if you wanted to do more digging.
Exactly.
Now, taking a step back, looking at like the big picture here,
Yeah.
what kind of impact could this have? Both Google and Tiscali kind of touch on this.
They both use pretty similar language talking about new possibilities for entering into contact with news sites, companies, and online content creators. That's how Google puts it.
Right.
They really think this is a big change in how we deal with information online. Like, search is actually evolving.
And Google obviously thinks this means you'll search more often and be happier with what you find.
Yeah.
But let's think about this for a second. You, the listener.
Yeah.
How could this actually change the way you go about finding things online?
That's the big question, isn't it? On the one hand, it could make finding information way faster.
Right.
Like, if you just need a general understanding of something, having the AI pull info from a bunch of sources and give you the key links could save you a ton of time. Plus, you might find sources you wouldn't have found just doing a regular keyword search.
That sounds good. Quick answers, links to good sources.
Yeah.
But are there any like downsides, things we should maybe watch out for?
That's a good point to bring up. One thing to think about is how much we'll actually interact with the information. If the AI gives you what seems like a full answer right at the top,
Yeah.
will you always click those links and check if it's really true based on the original sources?
Right. Are we going to get lazy?
Or will we start just trusting the AI's summary?
That's a good point. If the AI is doing all the filtering and summarizing at the beginning,
Yeah.
are we going to miss out on some of the details or different viewpoints that are only in the original articles?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And it also makes you wonder how those AI summaries are made in the first place. Like, what makes them choose certain sources to highlight? And how does that affect how the information is presented? Even though Google's making a big deal about those links.
Yeah.
The way the AI explains things at the beginning could still change how you understand it before you even click on anything.
So it's a really powerful tool.
Yeah, definitely.
It could make things a lot more efficient,
Hmm.
but it sounds like we need to be careful and keep thinking critically about the information we're getting.
Exactly. And this is all still pretty new. Figuring out how it changes how we get information online is going to be a process that keeps going.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot between the convenience of the AI and the importance of actually reading those original sources ourselves.
All right, so let's wrap this up. The big news here is AI Overview is live in Italy.
Yep.
You get these AI summaries right there in your Google search results.
Yeah.
And those summaries are designed for those more complicated questions.
Yeah, those bigger questions.
And most importantly, they come with links to the actual websites.
Yeah.
Both Google and Tiscali Notici are saying this is going to make searching easier and faster.
Yep, less frustrating.
And it might even help you find sources you didn't know about.
Yeah, for sure.
So here's something to think about, and this is a big one. Now that AI is giving you these little summaries right away,
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to change how you decide what information to trust online?
Right.
Does having the AI give you a quick answer make you more or less likely to click on those links and read the original stuff yourself?
It's a good question.
This is a big change to how we use Google, so it's something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.